Howdy y'all, it's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today we're going to take you through our core accessory for training 3 clients at one time. We're at our beautiful West Hollywood location, Sunset Boulevard right there. Sunset's coming up this morning on a Monday before 6 a.m. for your first client comes in. Perfect time to film some content. If you're not familiar with Show Up Fitness, I wrote the book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer, changing the landscape of the fitness industry. You do not need to be certified to train people. You need your insurance, you need CPR, and you need to be qualified, and that's what we teach you. A level 1 coach, you will get a certificate, it'll get you hired anywhere in the world. You'll know the 17 muscles of the shoulder, 20 of the lower body, your core movement patterns, vertical push-pull, horizontal push-pull, squat, which is more knee dominant, hinge, more hip dominant, unilateral, because I don't like the word lunge, because you tell a certified trainer to do a lunge, everyone starts doing walk-in lunges. You need to make it appropriate to your client, so you may need to regress and do a step up. A unilateral is what we do in transition. We're not jumping like Tinkerbell. Who are you? No, stop that. Load and jump. So let's go through training 3 clients at one time. Sure, you want to charge 200 big ones per hour. I charge more, but that's your goal. What about if you had 3 clients paying 75? You're making more. And it's very easy to find 3 people versus finding 1 paying 200. And on top of that, those 3 are going to go out there and talk about how badass you are because you are a hunkette and a hunk of a trainer. So if you were to train 3 people at one time, what does that look like during the session? So we're going to show you what it looked like here in our West Hollywood location. Now imagine, I'm going to show you real quick. This is what you got. You got the whole gym to yourself. You can do whatever the hell you want to. You can have fun. You can be over here. You can be over there. Whatever music you want. But what if it's packed and all you have is this area? So let's pretend you only have this area right here. You need to be economical because as the business owner, I'm going to have a trainer over here, trainer over there. We'll have 5 or 6 trainers in here at one time. You need to be resourceful with your area. So in my opinion, there's 3 ways that you can implement this, training 3 clients at one time. The first one being 1 at a time, core accessory. So here's your area. 1 person's doing back squat. 1 person's doing the landmine press unilaterally. Split stance. We're not anterior tilting. We're not throwing our rib cage around. And then 1 person will be planking. There's 1 station that I'm spotting, and that's where the little asterisk is. So for this one, I'm watching the back squat. I'm still checking out the person over here landmine pressing and the person planking. I'm being aware of my environment, but my attention is here spotting. Nice, good, we're gonna get 4 more. So when the squatter's done, everyone rotates. Squatter goes to landmine press, planker comes to here, and then we'll do that for a round, and then we'll rest, add weight, and progress. Notice the systematic way of implementing those 3 exercises. A squat, a press, and a plank. They're not compromising the integrity of the next exercise. I wouldn't want to have a squat, a lunge, and a jump. That's too taxing. So when you into your main core lift, your squat, your force is going to greatly be compromised. Remember, to optimize hypertrophy, everyone wants to be lean and look and feel better. We need to implement the mechanisms of hypertrophy. Optimal tension, metabolic stress, and damage. Damage is going to be the whole workout. Stress is going to be more at the end. So I would do that for 3 rounds. The other way, you could have everyone do a core pattern and the accessory together. So again, if you have access to the whole gym, you have 1 person squatting here in this rack, 1 person squatting over there, and then maybe someone who's a little more regressed, so you have them do goblets. Hit your set of 10, everyone does the overhead press exercise. Whether it's landmine, military, you make that decision, and then everyone planks together. Do that for 3 rounds. You're going to be a little more over the place. You're going to have to be adding weight over there, adding weight over here, because I don't like my clients adding weight. They're going to take something off, and next thing you go, my foot! And you're getting sued. You don't want that. So I do everything for my clients. The third option would be doing a snake. So you have 1 person squat. When they're done, they move to the landmine press. I'm taking and adjusting the weight for this person 2. And then when the person 2 is done, they come to landmine, and they go to plank, and then they rest. The nice thing about that way is you don't have to rest out long as a unit, because when person A is done squatting, they come here landmine press, next person squatting, when they go to the plank, By the time person 3 is done with the plank, person 1 is back to the back squat. So you do them all and see which method works for your environment, your system, your style, and what works for, maybe you have a different gym, maybe you have a garage, maybe you don't have as much weight. So you have to implement this plug and play system to see what works for you. The second group that we would do here, I'll put everything away, get some water, put the music on, whatever they like, add that professionalism, that service. I'm setting up station 2 here, pull-ups, RDL, so we're going to keep the landmine for the hinge pattern. Remember, a hinge pattern isn't bending over. Make sure no one's behind you. You want to make sure that you're throwing your butt back, trying to touch the wall. That's a hinge. So if you're watching from this angle, notice how my head of my femur doesn't move very much, versus when I hinge, it's really migrating back. We're going to do the RDL. I love the RDL landmine because it's self-governing. If you're too close, you're going to squat more. So you have to really come back. Make sure you give your clients some little mats for their hands. Even though you may not like it, always give that the service and professionalism to your clients. And then the side plank. I have them do that right in the middle. 3 rounds, and then we're going to move on to the last one. Bench press. So I have to adjust this a couple different times. Obviously for the squat, it's going to be a little higher. I have to take it away, re-rack it. For the pull-up, because I want to do the pull-up, I have to move the bar. And for the bench, yeah, you're going to have to be moving stuff around. Just don't leave shit all around, because that's passive negligence. The last thing you'd want is someone else's client to trip over something, hurt themselves. You're liable for that. So you got to be aware of your environment. So we're going to do bench press, into jumps, into carries. So carries will go down right in the middle. Maybe the first round, we're walking forward. The second round, maybe you walk backwards. The third round, maybe you put a band on their knees. Maybe they want bigger calves. Have them walk on their toes. They have a client with shin pain. Maybe have them walk on their heels. So I'm going to do a carry. Each time, I'm going to add in a little variation to make it fun. Maybe I'll throw some perturbations by bumping my client a little bit. Because on this one, I'm going to spot the bench. But the first round or two, maybe the weight isn't to volitional fatigue. So I can be kind of creative in spotting and adding that value. And so notice how I have the jumps down here. You may be asking for the transitional power. Well, shouldn't it be number 1? We're not doing too much taxing leg work here. We're not doing this, the RDLs, until 15 reps into fatigue. So the squats where I really optimize my force, maybe we do, if it's a moderate group, we do like a warm up and then 10, 8, 6. So a total of 4 rounds here. Maybe they're beginners, you would do 15, 12, 10. You make that decision on who you're training. But here we're only going to do sets of 3 to 5 jumps. I would do a broad jump. We're not doing it for time. These aren't athletes, so this wouldn't be the end of the world to put a jump down here. I'm doing this because I want to get better at teaching you guys to think critically. I don't want a bunch of show-up drones just creating the CCA and not being able to think for yourself. You need to be able to articulate and have a conversation with me if I say, well, why are we doing this here? And if you watch a prior video that we had with our trainer Jimmy in Santa Monica, we had a great conversation because he did that. And his reasoning for why he put jumps in there made perfect sense. I love that. I don't want a bunch of cogs. OPT model, get your fucking Bosu ball, stability ball. Everyone do the same thing. Why are you doing that? Let me go grab a foam roller and stick it up my ass. Come on, think for yourself. So if your clients are Gen Pop, you're going to train them obviously different than you would an athlete. Use your brain, constantly be learning. The core accessory system for programming that we have is amazing because it takes away a lot of fear and anxiety that you may have. Oh, what are my clients going to do? So here's my workout, squat pattern, push, accessory. Here's my second circuit, pull pattern, hinge, accessory. Last one, push, transitional, accessory, carry. Some people will call that a core pattern. That's my system. Now, if I wanted to do 3 first, I could. Multi-jointed exercises first. And then I'm going to do the ones that are, I'm going to put in cardio more at the end or the accessory, as long as I'm not compromising the force of the main exercise. Maybe you had cardio down here instead of the carries. Jump rope. Well, if you decide for whatever reason your clients, their legs are a little jacked up, they went for a long bike ride over the weekend, they come in on Monday and you're like, oh shit, well I have this full body workout planned, you're going to need to be able to adjust on the fly. So you're going to take away your squat, move 3 up to 1. You're just going to take away the cardio and put in your planks here. So this plug and play system is beautiful because it takes a lot of stress off your plate, but when you can think and you've gone through your level 1, you can just take something out and plug something else in based on any injuries or soreness that your clients may have. The last thing that we're going to do here, a little game. We're going to set up a nice little, get your client some water, towel. All right, you guys got a little left in the tank. Now if you need some glucose, because we're getting a little woozy, or if your clients start going white in the face, not talking, eyes fluttering, get them some glucose tablets. If you don't know what those look like, these suckers change lives. Last thing you want your client to do is pass out on you. 1, 2, 3. Favorite trainer of the belt buckle. I trained 10,000 people. I'm the best trainer in the world. Only killed 1. That doesn't look too good on the resume. Those save lives because your clients are deconditioned. They have their egos. And you ask them how they're doing. They're huffing and puffing. And they get in doing too much work too fast. They're not resting because society says you got to go, 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 go. So that is looking out for your client's best interest. So I ask my clients, the group of 3, you need anything? I'll pop one with them. Let's get it this last round. We have, look at your phone, the only time you do it during the session. We have 8 minutes left. We're going to do some planks. The magical word, belt buckle. When I say that, you hop up and you run in planks. Or maybe they run around. Or maybe we run out on Sunset Boulevard. I love doing that because you're bringing attention to the area. Is that a CrossFit? No. But people are going to ask you, I saw you working out over there. You have trainer on your chest. You look like a trainer. That's the best advertisement right there. So you have this little game, suicides. Maybe you grab a ball and you have them run with it over their head. That's your military-esque workout for 8 minutes at the end. That's the fun. That's the variety. That's the intensity where your clients are showing up. The core pattern here with the squat, core pattern with the pull, core pattern with the bench. When you overload that appropriately, that's what's going to get them the best shape of their life. Consistency. 3 people, in my opinion, is easier to train than 1. You got to deal with all the drama and the headaches and the bullshit with that 1 client because it's a lot more intimate. 3 people, you can get after it and you can make more. So here's an example of how you can train 3 clients at one time. Charging between 50 to 75. If there's a day, let them know. Communicate openly. If there's a day when one of you can't be here, it doesn't mean we cancel the session. It means you find someone, have someone in your rotation to fill in for them. So each one is buying a package of 21 sessions, $2,100, because you're charging $100 because you can easily do that. I know your confidence is low in the beginning, so start with 50. You're making $150 an hour. You have a lot of leeway. You now know how to implement the plug and play core accessory. We're hitting the main movement patterns based on your client's goals. So if you had a bunch of bros, it may be more pushing and pulling, less legs. If you had a lot of hunkettes and they want to get a big old badonkadonk, you can do more squatting, hinging, unilateral. You make it specific to your clientele. Even though you're working with a bunch of dudes and they want to work on their upper body, maybe we start with the squat here. We're still doing the press and a plank because you've been training them for 3 months. And part of this block, we're going to focus on lower body. So for the 3 times that you train them, you start out by doing one of the main core lower body lifts. Squat on Monday, and then what Wednesday's workout would look like, you do your hinge here, maybe a hip thrust, maybe a trap bar deadlift, overhead press. Instead of doing a landmine press, you do military press, you do a side plank. And then for a pull, instead of doing pull-ups, you do Aussies, and then we'll do a squat pattern here, goblets, into another ab exercise. And then we'll do incline press into lateral jumps into a suitcase carry. And then Friday's workout, you start with a unilateral, reverse lunge into maybe do more body weight, push-ups into ab exercise. Here we're doing chin-up variation into single leg RDL to more bicycle kicks. And then here we're going to be doing push-ups into jump ups into a suicide. So I just gave you a workout for 3 clients for the whole week. All I did right there was look at the pattern, squat pattern, change it out. Or I implemented one of the other patterns. For the pull, we did pull-up, we did an Aussie, we did chin-up. So this plug-and-play system with your exercise variation and variety. The next week, we're not doing a completely different workout. We're focusing on those main core patterns. I'm going to squat next week, I'll pull next week, we're going to bench. But maybe you just move around the order. So on Monday, You put your 2, and you put that as 1. We would just do a different plank variation. So we'll do a pull-up into an RDL into plank taps. And your client, mine, it's a totally different workout. And then maybe the pattern for the pull-ups, maybe you went 3 sets of 5, now we go a little heavier, maybe go a little lighter. So you're just looking at those acute variables, the reps, going heavier, going lighter, based on what you're programming for that month and your client's goals. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, comment below, shoot us a message on Instagram. If you want to become a successful trainer, 2-month internship, Los Angeles, San Diego, you can fly out for a week. We'll take care of you. Hands-on learning is changing the landscape of the fitness industry. If you think a bunch of certifications is going to make you qualified, you're in for a rude awakening. Yeah, you're in for a rude awakening because 90% of certified trainers quit within the first year. Not when you show up. You can't make it to LA, San Diego, or online. We have weekend seminars. Bam! Belt buckle trainer. Checking out. Have a great day.